The modern world is riddled with traps designed to keep men weak and prevent them from realizing their full potential. Nevertheless, society treats men better when they are strong. Here is the reality. None of these traps are set up by accident. They have been set up to control you. If you don't believe me, just take a look at the people that get put on a pedestal and the people that get cancelled. If you control the minds of men, you control the populace. Unfortunately, a lot of guys have fallen for the agenda and are wholeheartedly embracing weakness. Pathetic. What kind of man would allow himself to be brainwashed into forsaking his masculinity? No man at all. In this video, we will discuss 6 destructive habits that are holding men back and keeping them weak. Make sure you stick around till the end because the last one might just be the most important. Number 1. Being a slave to social media. Social media is a powerful tool that controls massive amounts of people. Just take a look around you when you enter a restaurant or even the gym. You will find people glued to their phone. They can't help it because they are a slave to social media. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying social media is all bad. There is a wealth of knowledge on the internet and social media can be beneficial if used wisely. You either use social media or get used by it. If you are constantly scrolling online and always discussing the latest trends, you are being used. If you are watching random short clips all the time, you are not only being used, but you are also destroying your attention span. Congratulations, you've played yourself. Deep down, everyone knows this to be true, and yet no one takes it seriously enough. They allow themselves to become slaves to social media. Number 2, playing video games. Why do you think the vast majority of gamers are men? It's because video games play directly into a man's innate desire for competition, conquest, and status. These are things that men have always desired, and video games have made them easy to attain. The problem is, none of it is real. The creators of the video games are playing directly into the desires of men. If you Google search how many women play video games compared to men, it'll tell you that it's almost a 50-50 split, but this is a lie. The statistics are skewed and they don't even take you seriously enough to make it seem legit. Why? As mentioned in the beginning, none of these traps are set up by accident. By skewing the data, they create a false narrative that half the gamers are women. They do this because, if you were to figure out a trend that the majority of video game addicts are men, it might wake you up to the reality that they are playing to your innate desires as a man. Now, does this mean there aren't any good games out there? Or that you can never have any entertainment in your life? Of course not. However, if you don't dominate, compete, and level up in the real world, you have absolutely no business doing it in a virtual world like a worm. Number 3. Not getting quality sleep. Sleep is one of the main things that the majority of men need to improve on. I want you to understand that the longer you go without quality sleep, the more you are weakening yourself. You are directly weakening yourself by lowering your testosterone and brain capacity. Note that I said quality sleep. There's a difference between getting enough sleep and getting quality sleep. I'll give you a simple rule of thumb you should use when it comes to sleep. It's called the 10-3-1 rule. 10 hours before bed, no more caffeine. 3 hours before bed, no more eating. And 1 hour before bed, no technology. Just following the 10-3-1 rule will drastically improve your sleep quality. There are more advanced things you could do to improve it even further, but that is a topic for another video. Number 4. Friendship. In the modern world, many guys are careless when it comes to choosing friends. At any other time in history, men knew that choosing bad friends would get you killed. You had to pick your friends very carefully based on certain principles and values you shared. Not only do men no longer choose friends based on principles and values, they pick their friends based on sharing some of the same bad habits we are currently discussing in this video. Think about that for a second. Guys are picking friends who share the same destructive habits that are keeping them weak. Forget about a code of honor and iron sharpening iron. Modern men would rather be weak and comfortable together, often leaving them shocked when they get betrayed by those they thought were friends. Listen, we all know that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If 5 of your friends are coward weaklings, you will be the 6th. If all your friends are snakes, you will eventually turn into a snake. It's better to be lonely and strong than to be surrounded by friends who are fake and weak. Number 5. Lack of emotional control. In the modern world, it's all too common to witness men getting worked up and overly emotional about trivial matters. Pathetic. Masculine men have control over their emotions. This doesn't mean they never cry or lack emotions. It means they decide when to display certain emotions. Emotional control is undeniably one of the fundamental pillars of masculinity, and buying into the misguided notion that it's acceptable to cry and embrace weakness willingly undermines this pillar. In essence, you are self-sabotaging your own masculinity when you do this. If someone can make you emotional, it means they can control you. Learn how to control your emotions and use them intelligently instead of being a slave to them. Number 6. Blaming others. Blaming others for your actions and mistakes is a sign that you are weak. You will never learn from your mistakes if you constantly blame other people and the circumstances. It's easy to feel like a victim when something doesn't go your way. Know that there is always a choice in how you respond to events in your life. Listen, while taking responsibility for your thoughts and actions in life can feel challenging, the reality is, you cannot build character and self-respect without doing so. Taking ownership will force you to confront your weaknesses, flaws, and shortcomings head-on. When you feel the impulse to blame someone or something, pause and take a step back to gain some perspective on the matter. What would an unbiased third party say about the situation? Set your ego aside and assess your role in creating the situation, including any mistakes you've made. Accept reality for what it is. Take full ownership for your actions, and keep moving forward armed with the lessons you've learned. If this video was helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.